So one thing that we all have in common, if you haven't noticed already, is we black.
If in 2022 you don't know not to say nigger.
I love masculine presenting black women. So holla, but where the studs at?
Honestly, when it comes to any African household, the minute you're into rock music, rap music, when you're hearing Slipknot from my room, my mum was like, this child, she's gonna be the one.
My mum actually overheard a conversation I was having with my first girlfriend, and the topic was scissoring. Oh my days, I know this. Please, no one judge me. I promise you I know, don't cancel me. I know this.
If you are gonna tell like family members, I want you to stress to them how it could compromise your safety if they betray your trust. Because sometimes like people just see it as like gist, as gossip. They don't realize that this is your life. This can compromise your life.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Black Queer TV, the Black Queer show like no other. With this show, we aim to inspire, educate, and entertain Black queer people and non-Black queer people alike. Thank you so much to everybody that's watching and everyone that's joined me here today. Let me introduce today's guests.
Hi, I'm Hazi, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm a social media assistant for a hair dye brand.
Hi, I'm Glow. My pronouns are he, they. I'm a content creator, fashion talk show host, and podcaster.
Hi, my name's Cole. My pronouns are he, him, and I am a multi-dimensional creative.
Hi, my name's Indiana. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm a hostess at a restaurant.
Can I quickly ask what everyone's sexuality actually is? Because by the way, we're using the word queer as a blanket term for like LGBTQ+, like all of that is under the umbrella of queer. So if you're wondering what that is, that's what it is. But I want to ask, like, what's everyone's sexuality? If you have one, like, don't feel obligated to say.
I mean, I guess by definition, I'm pansexual, but I have been going back and forth with, am I pansexual? Am I lesbian? And a lot of the times I feel like I'm pan maybe because, you know, how heteronormative society is. I'm like, maybe no, I do like men because, you know, I like girls that are a bit more masculine. But then as I'm getting older, I'm like, no, I just like girls, period. Like, you don't have to just be masculine, you can be anything. So I would say I identify as pansexual, but I'm still, you know, I'm learning.
I came out as bisexual, but I feel like my sexuality has developed so much as I've like gotten older. So yeah, I was very firmly bi for a long time. And then like when I was like about 15, 16, 17, I only liked guys. But I found like, I mean, I'm non-binary myself, and I found that as I've started critically like unpacking and understanding gender, like, and now I just use queer because like my sexuality is so much more than just being attracted to men. I like women. I love masculine presenting black women. So holla, but where the studs at? But like I have the capacity to like anyone, and I surprise myself each and every day. So queer suits me.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of in the both of you because I feel like I usually just say queer or like pansexual, but then also, let's be honest, I'll probably never end up with a cis male. Like,
it's not happening.
Let's just be honest, because they're a bit more like, they stress me out. So, like, I would normally just say queer, just so it's easier to explain to everyone. But really, is if you float my boat, you gonna get a text.
That's true.
I got a text.
No, I 100% agree. Like, I feel like you said, queer is an umbrella term. And every time I tell people I'm queer, I've never had to really explain anything else because, do I even know myself? Like, I know myself, but do I know what I'm attracted to? It could be anything, do you know what I mean? Not like dogs. Do you know what I mean? I was going to say not like animals, but like people.
Don't cancel him.
Please don't cancel me. I'm sorry. People, humans. But I guess I could say I'm queer, but I just love everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're, then you're. There's nothing else that's like. You're. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I identify as a lesbian, but I came out as bi, and then my parents were like, I don't understand what that means. Like, so does that mean you're gonna marry Peter, and then you're gonna marry Mary? Does that mean you're gonna chat to Josephine, and then you're gonna chat to Joseph? Like, I was just like, yeah, maybe. Sometimes I feel like we have to be attracted to the opposite sex, and that's just because of how the world makes us feel. And I feel like I've been becoming more comfortable with that as I've gotten older, and especially as I've moved to London, because I feel like the black queer scene here is just like, it's popping. It's so good, and like I always feel more at home, more understood. Like you said, you can say you're queer and people are going to get you. Like nobody is saying like, oh, what does queer mean? And I think the only reason sometimes we do have to explain that is to the people that maybe just aren't part of the community or people who are like baby gays. Do you guys think that there's such a thing as being straight passing? Because obviously like being pansexual or being bisexual or even being queer and like ending up with someone that is cisgender or someone that appears to be opposite sex to you can make it seem like, okay, cool, you're in a relationship with that person, and for the duration of that you're gonna seem like you're, you know, straight, at least to some people. So do you guys feel like that's a fair judgment?
I mean, I feel like a lot of it lies in like presentation, because I know a lot of like guys who would be perceived as masculine or present in a masculine way who might be bisexual, but because of heteronormativity, because of their own attractions, and because of ease, they tend to favour women when dating. And I feel like that allows them a privilege to navigate through the world without people necessarily assuming. I mean, me, I can always tell. But like, with, like, they have the privilege to like navigate in a world where they are perceived as like a masculine man, a straight man. And sometimes that causes a surprise when and I feel like it can be limiting as well, because when you're presenting in a way and people put you in a role, like you tend to favor that role. So when they do have curiosity to like experiment with guys, to date guys, because people have already put them in that box, they're less likely to step out of it because they don't want to cause like a shock, a ripple effect. They don't want backlash. But I have very little sympathy for them because,
So how do you guys feel in general about black queer culture, like our mannerisms, the things that we say, like even on TikTok, the trends and people jumping on and like, you know those ones where like there's a trend and the N-word is used bears, but like white people still feel the need to keep doing the videos over and over and just like make it so obvious. Like I don't remember what it was, but I think like in the whole Black Lives Matter movement, particularly like a couple of years ago, that time was a dark time in general, but like it was a dark time on social media because some things were just sliding that
very dark.
That should have slid. What's going on?
Honestly,
what's going on?
Honestly, I feel like when it comes to white people at this point, if in 2022 you don't know not to say nigger, then please. You actually, like, you're honest, you actually
It's
just
the
want to
bare
say it.
minimum.
Like, for so many years, it's not like this thing has been happening. It's not like racism was just invented last week. It's actually been something that's happened for so long that you're actually making the, like, cognitive choice to want to say something. Exactly that. Like, even the whole argument of, oh, they're born in the wrong time, they're born in this. But have they not been living in 2022 with me? Have they not been seeing who Boris Johnson is? And like they know, like we all know what's happening in this world. So it's actually you just choosing to ignore what you don't want to ignore and using your privilege to just be like, oh, it's fine. My white friends let me say it in front of them, so I don't care. There's always like one.
Have shame.
It's bad. Like, no, it's so bad. Like, why are you telling me what they said? I don't care. Am I dumb?
Do you know what I mean?
All right, try it with me, please. I would like you to.
PSA.
No, but like something that irritates me as well is more microaggressions, because I think, okay, cool. I think a racist person, they're just gonna straight up just be like, they're gonna just, you know, like you don't have to question, oh, are they racist? Are they not? You know. But when it comes to microaggressions, it's little things that you can't really, you know, maybe report to your manager or report to, you know, like your school teacher. You can't say that. But yeah, I think that's something that's a lot more damaging because they know what they're doing. They're just not being called out for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think that's one of the things that is so annoying is that a lot of the time people that are racist, people that are homophobic, they don't get that accountability, like they don't get the consequences. And we end up having to face all the trauma that comes with it, all of the stress that comes with it, even just the insecurities and the thinking in ourselves, like, am I presenting myself in the right way? Am I conforming? Am I ticking boxes? And I think that's why it's so important to think about black queer tropes and think about not using them for your gain if you aren't part of that community. That ends this part of the group chat, guys, and it's time to play a game. So now it's time for the fun part, and we're about to play a little game called Flip the Cup. I'm sure a lot of you will be aware of this game, but I'm just going to quickly explain the rules. So here are the rules. Cast members are going to get into two teams. They're going to go head to head trying to flip the cup. But first things first, they have to take a shot. After they take a shot, they're going to try and flip the cup
Whoever flips the cup first then gets to answer a trivia question, and whoever answers that question correctly gets to win the points. Whichever team wins the most points wins the round, and that's it. Pretty simple, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm dying. Oh my god, oh my god.
Does this cup want?
Oh my god. Oh my god, come on. Woo! Yes!
Which LGBTQ flag features the colours yellow, white, purple and black?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is it bisexual? It's not.
Is it asexual?
Oh. Okay, can I guess again? Is it the trans flag? That's purple. That's purple in it. No?
The non-binary flag.
Yeah, that's the one.
What can I say?
Oh my, nah, like it's nearly getting there. That's what's pissing me off.
Anyway.
Which Ryan Murphy produced series focuses on the ballroom scene?
Pose. Oh, I love winning. Oh.
Okay. I feel like I'm being hate crimed against.
You are. I'm actually breaking up a sweat.
No, honestly? Oh my god. 5 years later, we're still going.
5 years later.
Ah!
Which black gay music star became famous with Old Town Road?
Oh,
Amen. Lil Nas X.
Shut up.
Who is thought to have thrown the first brick at Stonewall?
No, this is irritating me because I know it as well. I know it. Oh my days, I know this. Please, no one judge me. I promise you I know. Don't cancel me. I know this. I don't know this. I don't know this one. I don't.
It's okay, just take a guess.
I don't know though.
It's fine. I don't know it either.
Oh God.
Just take a
No,
guess.
because I know I've seen I've literally made posts about this person.
Think
This is why
real
it's
hard
bad.
and then don't say it.
Get my brain cells, just, you know. No. No, this is
Should
so
we go
bad.
to me? Should we go to me?
Go on.
Marsha P. Johnson.
Oh, I literally knew it.
I knew it all along.
Oh my days.
Congratulations to Cole and Glow for winning that round. For me, I've had to come out so many times to so many people, and I wanted to find out, what was you guys' experience like, and do you feel like coming out is redundant, or do you feel like it's something that we should keep doing?
so I came out when I was 14. I just ripped the band-aid off and said, fuck it. I was like, this is gonna be a thing that follows me my whole life. Let me get over with now. I came out to my friendship group first, and then the rest of my year. I was the first openly black queer person at my school. So yeah, I had a big target on my back, but everyone was surprisingly understanding. And then when I came out to my mum, I was actually watching a Tyler Oakley video, cringe I know, it was a Draw My Life video, and she came in at the wrong time. He was talking about his experience of just like body issues and like depression and stuff like that. And my mum kind of took that as he was kind of like influencing younger viewers who may be going through similar things to be queer or whatever. So when she gave this ignorant opinion, I kind of flipped out and I was like, well, F this, because I'm bisexual. And I don't think it registered for her at first. I've had to come out a few times, as you have as well, but now I feel like it's very clear that I'm here and I'm queer. So, yeah.
You know what, I think that's a really good point to make. The fact that, especially as Black people, we get this thing fed to us about being queer, being something that's like shown on the television, and then like, you know, we pick it up somehow. We want to show that it's not a sickness, it's not a cold, it's not COVID that can just be passed through people. Like, it's actually our reality.
So honestly, I feel like I had like the easiest ever. It was like so lit. Basically, since I was young, my uncle has always had like boyfriends that were like coming around like cheeky uncles. I mean, no, it's not your uncle, but it's fine. But yeah, so I think everyone kind of knew before I did. And then when it was like, when I was like 18 or something, I was like, I like girls. So like, okay, you know, like, good job for you knowing. And I was like, okay, wow. But yeah, everyone's been like really chill. I think my mum is like very Christian, so she's very sometimes like, oof, but maybe you might find a Terry that will change your life. Terry. But Terry will never come. We will never see him.
So for mine, it was a bit different. So I came out to my friends first when I was about 14, 15, yeah, around that time. And most of them took it good, but a few of them was like, oh, so are you attracted to me? I'm like, no, babe. If I was attracted to you, you would know by now. So that happened, left school. Now my family, whole different situation. My mum actually overheard a conversation I was having with my first girlfriend, and the topic was scissoring. So there's that, and all I heard was, Indiana, come downstairs. And yeah, I came downstairs, straight up, are you gay? I was like, no, I'm not. Long story short, I ended up staying with my girlfriend for about a week. Came back to the house, everything was very awkward, and that was pretty much it. My family kind of just found out by accident. Had me on social media. Yeah, I didn't really get to do the coming out like I wanted to, but you know.
Do you feel like you feel robbed of that experience?
Do you know what? I do feel kind of robbed, because a lot of it was also speculation. And then, oh yeah, by the way, Indiana's this. I'm like, how do you know Indiana's this? You haven't asked Indiana. So a little bit, but I get to come out to the new people that I meet in a way that I want to, and that's something that I appreciate a lot.
Coming out for me, obviously because I'm trans and queer, I've had to come out twice. So when I first came out, I actually came out as a lesbian in school before I'd come out as trans. And then I came out as trans, and then I obviously came out as queer. So I've come out like maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times, who knows? At this point, I don't count. My experience with coming out has never stopped, because I'm still coming out to this day. Every single day I'm meeting people and they're like, oh, so you're trans? And I'm like, yeah. And it's just an ongoing thing. I just feel like, I kind of feel like it should get to the point where it's not a thing anymore. Because for trans people, you're labelled as just being that trans person. As soon as someone says, oh, meet Cole, it's Cole the trans man. It's not just Cole. So yeah, my experience has never stopped. And at some point, I think it's gonna stop, because I'm just gonna stop telling people. I'm just gonna say, no, I'm cis, but I don't really want to do that.
Do you know what? That's actually really interesting, because I remember back in sixth form, me and my friends used to like have all these kind of debates, and I think at some point somebody asked, like, if someone was trans and they didn't tell you, and then like you went out with them, and then like you were dating them for a while, would you feel some type of way? Like,
personally, I wouldn't care, but like being a queer person, being an accepting person, I would hope that in like any kind of relationship, friendship, romance, family, I would hope that like I facilitate a space in which they can tell me from the jump. And like I would want to know so that I can help sort of like navigate social spaces and just the world at large, like in a way that is like comforting to them and whatnot. But like as far as care goes, no, not really.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes the person who is telling the other person cares more than the person who's actually listening to it. So it's just like finding the actual time, like personally, tell me when you're ready. I really don't give a toss like that. But it's just, if you're uncomfortable, you feel like you're going to feel away with me knowing something because you're not ready to like open up that much about you, then it's fine. Like, live your best life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I completely agree, honestly. It's just whenever they feel like they're comfortable. Because to me, you telling me that, you know, you're trans, it's just another part of your identity that I now know about. That doesn't change how I feel about you or however you're still the same person. I just know more about you now. That's really it.
Yeah. Or, I mean, myself, I recently had an experience with someone I dated and I didn't even know they were trans. And people just assume because I'm trans, I should know other trans people and I should be able to tell. I should just look at someone and go, oh yeah, they're trans. Do you know what I mean? But you know, she didn't feel like she had to tell me and I didn't feel like she had to tell me. And then when I found out, I was just like, but that's because it's me. Do you know what I mean? I can understand where some people are a little bit taken back by it, but I don't feel like if you like a person, it should change how you feel about them or change how you see them. It's just, like you said, another part of their identity.
Yeah, that's real. I feel like we all need to hold more space for people and just be open to like everybody's life experiences. Because a lot of the time, I think we think about our role in things. We think about like how the world perceives us, or like we think too long term. And sometimes I think it's better to just be in the moment and listen. And I feel like that's how we can all facilitate people coming out, whether that's someone who's gay, someone who's trans, someone who's bi, and everything in between.
So one thing that we all have in common, if you haven't noticed already, is we black. So that means we have some unique experiences which I feel like don't really get shown right now. And I feel like one of those things is definitely about what it's like to grow up queer in a black household. Like, even though all of us have had different coming out experiences, I feel like we can all relate to, you know, at least an element of something. Like Hazi said, like, mum's waiting for Terry to come and Terry's never coming. Like, and I definitely think I've experienced that as well. You know, we can't always like just be our authentic selves. So we have to create those spaces for ourselves and we have to find our own chosen family. What advice would you guys give to anyone that's closeted or anyone that's questioning what their sexuality is right now?
I feel like I would say don't take coming out so seriously or like heavily. Because like, I don't know if this sounds crazy, but I feel like when it comes to coming out, you're not really coming out because you're already who you are. You're just letting people in to like who you are. And honestly, like as someone who didn't really come out like that, the people who want to understand you and want to get you and like want to know who you are, they're just going to understand it regardless, and they're going to know exactly what you're doing, what you believe in. The people who don't want to understand, they're never going to want to understand. So there's no point in trying to impress them and explain to them because it's just not going to happen.
Do you know what? I agree with what you said, yeah, but I also do think it depends on how your family is. Because for my family, saying that you're anything other than straight and cisgender, it's not taken lightly. So I feel like to a certain degree, you do have to kind of take it serious. Like, be careful who you tell. Because I have had cousins where I felt, you know what, I'll open up to you. You've known me since I was born. And they've gone and told my auntie. So it's things like that. So I think, yeah, take your time, but also don't rush into it. Don't think, okay, well, I know who I am now, so I'm just going to tell everyone. No. Think about it. Go with how your gut feels and how your heart feels, and then just go from there. That's honestly all you can do.
Personally, as I've like sort of like come into myself a lot more, and now I feel pretty much secure in who I am. Like I don't care. I found that I've stopped explicitly coming out. I've stopped like announcing myself, but more so just being. So like when I'm having conversations about love, sex and dating, I will speak from my experience. I'll say, oh, like I was talking to this guy, I was talking to this girl, and let people infer what they want from that. I'm very proudly queer, but like I shouldn't have to over-explain myself every time. Obviously that depends on family or whatever. When it comes to family, I just let them assume what they want to. If an opening comes and they ask me a question, I might be honest depending on how I'm feeling. But yeah, as you said, assess your safety first. And if you are going to tell like family members, I want you to stress to them how it could compromise your safety if they betray your trust. Because sometimes like people just see it as like gist, as gossip. They don't realize that this is your life. This can compromise your life.
I'd say any advice for anyone who's trans who's coming out, I'd say know the facts, do your research into being trans and the whole transition and where you want to go and have a path set out, because you're going to get so many people who are going to ask you so many different questions, and they're going to want to know. And sometimes it's not coming from a place of hostility. It's coming from a place of genuinely wanting to understand where your head's at and where your journey is. But another thing I'd also say is don't feel like you have to if you don't want to, because I feel like we've all kind of made a mistake where we've come out and we didn't actually have to come out and sell this person, but we did. Do you know what I mean? So definitely just make sure you're going with your gut, like you said, and just follow your heart, man. That sounds so cheesy, doesn't it? Oh, gosh.
Just jumping off the back of that, someone who's trans actually asked me for advice on coming out to their parents, and the first thing I told them is, like, Google the most commonly asked questions. Like, go on Reddit and see what questions parents ask when they find out that their children are trans, and make sure you have a very succinct answer for all of those. There cannot be any gaps. There cannot be any room for questioning, because the moment that you come out, it becomes an interrogation, even if it's not hostile. Yeah. If you don't have answers to their questions, you seem unsure to them. They start to think you might have doubts. They start to think that you might not know who you are. So make sure that your shit is tight. Have an answer for everything.
And I think it's really important to stress the thing about safety as well. We don't think that just because you're queer that you should have to come out, because as we said, everybody's situation is different. Everybody does not have a safe environment for them to come out in, and so if you don't have that, then don't feel the pressure to come out. Like, take your time with it, know who you have around you, know who your community is, and come out in your own time. And by the way, if anybody wants to give you smoke for coming out, send them this way, because I've got you. Don't worry about it. One thing that we can all relate to is that we are stereotypes like crazy. If you type in black gay or black LGBTQ into Google and look at the images or look at the GIFs, I feel like if you look at the GIFs, you'll really see it's yes, honey. You're gonna see RuPaul just plastered on the front, but there's so much more to us than that. Sometimes you just don't actually know that people are gay. Like, sometimes you have to suss them out. Sometimes you don't know if they're trans. Like, sometimes you just have to, give a little mysterious stare across the bar. You just don't know, actually. I feel like you sometimes have to do little things that, give away that you're queer, or sometimes people can just pick up on things that, like the septum process. Okay, because that's what I wanted to get into. It's the septums. So do you guys feel like there's anything that, like, screams that you were queer, like, before you came out? I know, Hazi, you mentioned that people, like, already were sussing you out, but do you feel like there's anything about you that gave off that you were queer before you came out?
I feel like definitely the style and things that I was obsessed with. When I was younger, I was very much into, like, Paramore, all them sort of things. And I think, honestly, when it comes to any African household, the minute you're into rock music, rap music, when you're hearing Slipknot from my room, my mum was like, this child, she's going to be the one. Like, it was very much giving. And I think the piercings just added to it. Let's be honest, the shaved head. Let's be honest. I'm an honest person. Let's be honest with myself. I also think the boots, the big shoes, Doc Martens. If you've got big boots,
I'm always getting cussed for wearing big boots, and it's like, you have to be real to my identity.
I wish I kind of had something similar, because it wasn't until I got my septum pierced that people were like, oh, you're a bit. And I was like, yeah, because before that, and even now sometimes people are like, oh, I just thought you were straight. I'm just like, no, not at all. Not yet. Honestly, it's just. It's like, what do I have to do? Slip my eyebrow? Like shave my sides? Like,
Anyone ever slip their eyebrow? Because I can't lie, me, year 10.
My little concealer. That's what I did.
Do you know what? That was a smart way to do it.
It's good, it works, I promise you.
Yeah. There was a good year where like that was part of my look, like, but then I got very bored of it. I thought it looks good, but I just got bored of it. And also I feel like that was a time where I feel like I was a lot more insecure in my masculinity, so I was trying to find like signifiers of masculinity, hence slit eyebrows. I was seeing boys who were straight or straight identifying, slitting their eyebrows, so I started doing that. The do-rag. I started wearing the do-rags. I started wearing trainers more, started wearing trackies more. But now I feel like I'm so secure that, like, I still do those things, but without the thought.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I'm really grateful for the fact that we've been able to have this amazing conversation and talk about different things that really matter to the Black queer community. And hopefully you all got something out of it too. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, and make sure that as many people as possible can see this. Join us next time on Black Queer TV, where we'll have so much more for you.